Hello and welcome to Reading with Cari, Stories to Fall Asleep to, a mindfulness podcast series that can be used as a sleep aid or to ease your anxiety and relieve your stress. I am your host, Cari Favole, and I am so thankful that you've decided to spend some time with me. Today's episode is themed around the Chinese zodiac Ox. Most people with the Ox sign hold conservative and traditionalistic personalities. They impress people with an image of endurance, honesty, and diligence. They seldom fear for any hardships or difficulties. They are persistent but stubborn, cautious but hesitant, moody and quick-tempered. Today's validation space comes from Nami.org. Myth: having a mental illness means you are crazy. Fact: it's plain and simple. Having a mental illness does not mean you are crazy. It means you are vulnerable. It means you have an illness with challenging symptoms, the same as someone with an illness like diabetes. While mental illness might alter your thinking, destabilize your moods, or skew your perception of reality, that doesn't mean you are crazy. It means you are human and are susceptible to sickness and illness, the same as any other person. And before we begin, let's start with a brief mindfulness exercise. Close your eyes and take a posture that is relaxed, taking care to keep your back and neck in alignment. As you get situated, really notice your body, feeling the weight of your body on the chair, the bed, the floor, or wherever you may be in this moment. Notice the position of your feet and any sensations you can feel with them. Locate your legs and the blunt pressure on whatever seat you are on. Feel any sensations in your arms and make sure your shoulders are soft. Where are your hands resting? What are they feeling? Acknowledge any tension that you feel in your muscles and allow your body to express itself, being present in the moment. Just be aware of the tension or whatever may be happening in your body. Simply note the communication with a simple thought of, I hear you, that's how it is right now. Bring your focus to your breath, but don't alter it in any way. Just feel your body's natural rhythm as you inhale and exhale. Feel the oxygen enter your lungs. That slight hitch between inhale and exhale, and the sensation of the air exiting your lungs with another micro moment between breaths. Let's extend our awareness to our mind. What thoughts or feelings or perceptions are present right now? Again, we are just noting these thoughts and feelings in this moment. Don't try to push or shut down any sense of discomfort or unpleasant feelings, but don't dwell on them either. Simply validate them with a simple acknowledgement, such as, that's okay, that's how it is right now. Keeping the connection you have with your body, reach your hands above your head, stretching your arms. Tense up the muscles as you breathe in and hold them in place for just a moment. And now, as you release the breath, relax your muscles and place your arms back to where they were resting comfortably before. Let's repeat this once more. Raising your hands above your head, tense your muscles in your arms and shoulders as you breathe in and hold the position as you hold your breath for just a short count of 4. Then release your breath as you release your muscles and rest your arms back to where they were. Now focus back to your breathing and notice how you can relax by taking slow, deep breaths in and releasing your breath slowly out. Breathe in, hold your breath, and breathe out slowly. Breathe in and out. Keep breathing deeply, gently, and slowly. Now notice your whole body as being present. Be aware of every part at once, as best you can, as you continue to softly and deeply breathe in and out. If you are preparing yourself for bed, continue to breathe in and out, and just listen to my voice, but do not follow. If you need to ready yourself to get back to your day, then let us now widen our spatial awareness by using our other senses. What sounds do you hear in the room other than my voice? Are there any smells you can recognize? Feel the item on which you are resting with all of your body and imagine it in your mind. Try to picture it as accurately as you can without opening your eyes just yet. And now, take a deep breath in on an inhale of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 4. And on an audible sigh, release your breath as you open your eyes and fully come back. And now, here's the story. The Straw Ox, a Ukrainian story by Robert Nisbet Bain. There was once upon a time an old man and an old woman. The old man worked in the fields as a pitch burner, while the old woman sat at home and spun flax. They were so poor that they could save nothing at all. All their earnings went in bare food, and when that was gone, there was nothing left. At last the old woman had a good idea. "Look now, husband," cried she, "make me a straw ox and smear it all over with tar."
"Why, you foolish woman,"
said he.
"what's the good of an ox of that sort?"
"Never mind," said she. "You just make it. I know what I am about." What was the poor man to do? He set to work and made the ox of straw and smeared it all over with tar. The night passed away, and at early dawn the old woman took her distaff and drove the straw ox out into the steppe to graze, and she herself sat down behind a hillock and began spinning her flax and cried, "Graze away, little ox, while I spin my flax. Graze away, little ox, while I spin my flax." And while she spun, her head drooped down, and she began to doze. And while she was dozing, from behind the dark wood and from the back of the huge pines, a bear came rushing out upon the ox and said,
"Who are you? Speak and tell me."
And the ox said, "A 3-year-old heifer am I, made of straw and smeared with tar."
"Oh,"
said the bear.
"Stuffed with straw and trimmed with tar, are you? Then give me your straw and tar, that I may patch up my ragged fur again."
"Take some," said the ox, and the bear fell upon him and began to tear away at the tar. He tore and buried his teeth in it till he found he couldn't let go again. He tugged and he tugged, but it was no good, and the ox dragged him gradually off goodness knows where. Then the old woman awoke, and there was no ox to be seen. "Alas, old fool that I am!" cried she. "Perchance it has gone home." Then she quickly caught up her distaff and spinning board, threw them over her shoulder, and hastened off home. And she saw that the ox had dragged the bear up to the fence, and in she went to the old man. "Dad, Dad," she cried, "look, look, the ox has brought us a bear. Come out and kill it." Then the old man jumped up, tore off the bear, tied him up, and threw him in the cellar. Next morning, between dark and dawn, the old woman took her distaff and drove the ox into the steppe to graze. She herself sat down by a mound, began spinning, and said, "Graze, graze away, little ox, while I spin my flax. Graze, graze away, little ox, while I spin my flax." And while she spun, her head drooped down and she dozed. And lo, from behind the dark wood, from the back of the huge pines, a gray wolf came rushing out upon the ox and said,
"Who are you? Come tell me."
"I am a 3-year-old heifer, stuffed with straw and trimmed with tar," said the ox.
"Oh, trimmed with tar, are you? Then give me of your tar to tar my sides, that the dogs and the sons of dogs tear me not."
"Take some," said the ox. And with that the wolf fell upon him and tried to tear the tar off. He tugged and tore with his teeth, but could get none off. Then he tried to let go and couldn't. Tug and worry as he might, it was no good. When the old woman woke, there was no heifer in sight. "Maybe my heifer has gone home," she cried. "I'll go home and see." When she got there, she was astonished, for by the palings stood the ox with the wolf, still tugging at it. She ran and told her old man, and her old man came and threw the wolf into the cellar also. On the 3rd day the old woman again drove her ox into the pastures to graze, and sat down by a mound and dozed off. Then a fox came running up. "Who are you?" it asked the ox. "I am a 3-year-old heifer, stuffed with straw and daubed with tar." "Then give me some of your tar to smear my sides with, when those dogs and sons of dogs tear my hide." "Take some," said the ox. Then the fox fastened her teeth in him, and couldn't draw them out again. The old woman told her old man, and he took and cast the fox into the cellar in the same way. And after that, They caught Pussy Swiftfoot, the hare, likewise. So when he had got them all safely, the old man sat down on a bench before the cellar and began sharpening a knife. And the bear said to him,
"Tell me, Daddy, what are you sharpening your knife for?" "To flay your skin off, that I may make a leather jacket for myself and a pelisse for my old wife." "Oh, don't flay me, Daddy dear. Rather let me go, and I'll bring you a lot of honey."
"Very well, see you do it." And he unbound and let the bear go. Then he sat down on the bench and again began sharpening his knife. And the wolf asked him,
"Daddy, what are you sharpening your knife for?" "To flay off your skin, that I may make a warm cap against the winter."
"Oh,
don't flay me, Daddy dear, and I'll bring you a whole herd of little sheep."
"Well, see that you do it." And he let the wolf go. Then he sat down and began sharpening his knife again. The fox put out her little snout and asked him, "Be so kind, Daddy dear, and tell me why you are sharpening your knife."
"Little foxes," said the old man, "have nice skins that do capitally for collars and trimmings, and I want to skin you."
"Oh, don't take my skin away, Daddy dear, and I will bring you hens and geese."
"Very well, see that you do it."
And he let the fox go. The hare now alone remained, and the old man began sharpening his knife on the hare's account.
"Why do you do that?"
asked Puss, and he replied,
"Little hares have nice little soft warm skins, which will make me gloves and mittens against the winter."
"Oh, Daddy dear, don't flay me, and I'll bring you kale and good cauliflower, if only you let me go."
Then he let the hare go also. Then they went to bed, but very early in the morning, when it was neither dusk nor dawn, there was a noise in the doorway like
"Drrr!"
"Daddy," cried the old woman, "there is someone scratching at the door. Go and see who it is." The old man went out, and there was the bear, carrying a whole hive full of honey. The old man took the honey from the bear, but no sooner did he lie down again, than again there was another "Drrr!" at the door. The old man looked out, and saw the wolf driving a whole flock of sheep into the yard. Close on his heels came the fox, driving before him geese and hens, and all manner of fowls. And last of all came the hare, bringing cabbage and kale and all manner of good food. And the old man was glad, and the old woman was glad. And the old man sold the sheep and oxen, and got so rich that he needed nothing more. As for the straw-stuffed ox, it stood in the sun till it fell to pieces. Thank you for listening. I welcome you back any time you may need to hear a comforting voice or a familiar bedtime story.